Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys a review for Boruto episode 162. And I gotta say, now that this episode is done and in the books, I really need to start with the next episode preview. Now, I gotta go ahead and say this. I'm really excited to see next week's episode because for me personally, it's gonna be really cool to actually see where Deepa lines up, because those of you guys who have been following the channel since this arc got announced and we got the artwork for Deepa, one thing that I've said on a consistent basis is I really feel like Deepa is going to be revealed to be the weakest member of all of the inner members of Kara, and he's going to be a throwaway character when it comes to the Kara group. And I gotta say, man, this is a really nice opportunity to see where Deepa ranks up at, because the fact of the matter is if you look at the end of the episode and then at the next episode preview, one of the people that Deepa is going to be fighting is gonna be the guy from the Hidden Cloud Village that was a part of the Shinobi Union. I cannot remember his name. His name escapes me because I didn't really care for him in the Naruto manga. I gotta say, man, the reason why that's so important is because he was at the Shinobi Union in the Shikamaru Hiden novel and in the anime adaptation for that novel, he's next in line to be Raikage. That's huge right there, because Darui was on that committee and then so was the other guy. I believe his name is Omi, and this is what's so cool about this, okay? So now you're getting an opportunity to actually see an inner member of Kara go up against somebody from another Shinobi nation who we've already seen fight. And so this is gonna be really good, because if it's a situation where Deepa absolutely bodies him or he fights relative to him, now we at least know the guys at that low Kage tier. So I think that's nice. Now that I got that bit out the way, let's go ahead and talk about the actual episode. So I gotta say, you know, this episode had a lot of potential, and there are times where I did feel like it didn't necessarily reach the potential that it could have had, but I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy the episode, because I did like the brief moments where you get the flashes of skirmishes where you see Boruto and Konohamaru realizing that they got shinobi closing in from all directions. They end up having to put themselves into a vulnerable situation. They're free falling from the castle. They're taking their kunai and they're knocking away all the projectiles being thrown at them. They're being surrounded. They're in a situation where, as Konohamaru said, they can't really afford to burn through a lot of chakra. What I also like is the fact that you get this scene where once they rendezvous, that's when Boruto remembers, like, oh, I did get splashed with some perfume, because Mujino recognizes, like, Boruto's got a scent, he can be tracked. And that's like a huge callback to part 1 of Naruto. Any small thing you can do can end up getting you tracked. So I thought that was cool how they kind of incorporated that in there. I like the moments that you got with Boruto and Mujino working together, and that's really interesting in my opinion, because those personalities, they go against each other, like Konohamaru said. But if you read the manga, I'm not going to spoil it for the anime onlys, but you know, if you read the manga, you know exactly why they're trying to build a small relationship with Boruto and Mujino. So I thought that was cool right there to actually kind of see a little bit more kind of going in there. And I laughed for a second when Mujino said, like, man, if you're not gonna get your ass in that sewer pit, I'm just gonna have to knock you in there myself. I like that. I like that, because as soon as I saw, like, oh, that's a sewer, I said, okay, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to get on some solid snake shit and kind of cover up his scent. So I like that right there. Mujino was thinking quick, and I like how Boruto's like, man, I don't want to do this. Like, Boruto is one of those dudes, right? Like, Boruto's like, yeah, I want to be about that ninja life, but I want to make exceptions to the rule. I don't want to do that right there. You can tell the difference. Like, Mujino is from Konohamaru and Naruto's generation, okay? Like, Mujino grew up when the 5 great nations weren't on necessarily the best terms. So Mujino's one of those characters where it's like, look, like, I've been through it, dude. Like, you're pampered, and you see the difference. Like, Boruto saying, ugh, I don't want to get all sticky and yucky, and I don't like this, and I don't want to, you know, bathe in some diarrhea doo-doo. Like, Sasuke would be so disappointed right now, because Sasuke would look at Boruto and say, Boruto, get in there, getting some diarrhea doo-doo. Don't you know when I was your age, I was willing to do anything for a new type of jutsu. I even let a creepy petal snake play hide the snake with me for more power. You know, the only real thing I would say is that I would have liked to actually seen just a little bit more action sequences. Like, that's my thing. They got a whole country hunting after them, but I understand why they couldn't do it, because, you know, nobody on that team is gonna be able to straight up brawl like that against 1,000 ninja hunting them down. Like, all these rogue ninja, you have absolutely no intel on them. You don't know any of their jutsu. You can't really afford a situation like that. So the only thing you can do is basically run. That's the only thing you can't do, because once you get into the territory of essentially trying to suppress ninja forces, it bumps the mission rank, and that bumps the mission rank to a level that Boruto and Sarada, they're not ready for that type of a mission yet. That's just my opinion. Like, if it's a few ninjas, sure. When it comes to suppressing ninja forces outright, I don't think they're quite on that level. And the fact that, you know, Boruto let his guard down after he escaped the village, even though he's in hostile territory at the end of the episode, that kind of proves my point. So I like that little moment right there. And, you know, when it comes to when they get cornered in the market, and it looks like they're finally gonna have to throw down, I was really excited to actually see a little bit of action, and that ended up not being the case, because Boruto ends up seeing the child, which I gotta eat crow on that. I said, man, just let that child get snuffed out. You know, I guess the Boruto anime is trying to say, like, hey, you know, hey boys and girls, when you do good deeds, guess what? Good deeds happen to you. People pay it back for you. Man, miss me with that bullshit, man. This bullshit kitty bullshit. But yo, on the real though, man, you can tell, man, like, I don't like that shit, man. I understand why they do it though, but you know, on the real, you know, the other thing is, you know, I like how, you know, you see those moments where Boruto has indirect moments of brilliance. So I guess you could call it accidental moments of brilliance, where he's like, hey Mujino, you said we need the quickest way out the village. Hey, there's a blimp. I know all the anime fans are like, why is the blimp so important? And the manga fans like, oh my god, it's gonna be that blimp. And I've been getting people begging me, like, can you make a video? Is this the blimp? Is this the blimp? And I'm like, man, I gotta get more information. You know, we only saw part of the blimp design in the manga, but I don't know, man. I don't think that's it. And I'm just like, man, I gotta get more information. I don't think this is it. I'm not gonna make a video speculating. Lo and behold, that ain't it, because the blimp that Konohamaru and Mujino find is closer to the border of the Land of Fire. The Land of Silence is incredibly long way away from the Land of Fire, so that ain't it, Chief. So, you know, that part right there, totally get why they did that. You know, it's just nice little fun teasing for manga fans. But, you know, the whole thing with the blimp, I thought it was cool how they kind of hijacked it, and you get that moment where you think that they're actually going to pull this off, and then in typical fashion, you know, to borrow a wrestling term, it ended up being a false finish. You know, that wasn't what was going to end up happening. So I thought that that part was cool. I liked how, you know, they shot down the blimp, and, you know, at first it looked like they were using missiles, but they're actually just using rocket launchers to shoot the kunai that had exploding tags on them. So I thought that was a nice touch. That was actually pretty genius right there. That was pretty cool to, you know, see that bit right there. And then once they end up getting underground with that little boy, and you find out that Mitsuki's back, and the little girl ends up being the street urchin's brother, like, they're just tying everything together. Like, that's just so fucking convenient. But, you know, we're 162 episodes in the Boruto, you know, fuck it, let's ride out. Let's just ride out at this point, man. I'm not even gonna be critical of that convenient shit. You know, like, the thing I'll definitely say though is, you know, bringing Mitsuki back, I think that it's needed, because, you know, Sarada's talented. Sarada's got some stamina issues. Boruto's very talented, but Boruto lets his guard down too much. Like, when those Cloud Ninja were getting ready to clap Boruto, Mitsuki just took one look and said, oh shit, it's about to get real. Boruto and Sarada, look out. Boruto, like the problem with Team 7's dynamic, and this isn't necessarily like me dogging on them, but the problem with Team 7's dynamic is, you know, Mitsuki, you can tell that's Orochimaru's son. Orochimaru is, you know, he groomed this kid to where Mitsuki is very observant, and the guy's always on his P's and Q's. Like, when Boruto gets on that stupid bullshit, you know, Sarada's always like, Boruto, you know, you should be paying more attention. And it's like, bitch, you should be paying attention too. Get off of this dude's dick. Like, this is one of those times where, like, I'm pulling my hair out. I'm like, why aren't you moving? And sure enough, Mitsuki ends up catching the situation, because Mitsuki understands we're still in enemy territory. We cannot relax. We need to keep moving. So I like that right there. That was a very welcome reunion with Team 7. And because Mitsuki's there, you know, the thing that I've noticed, this is just my opinion, the thing that I've noticed is that when Mitsuki gets involved in those fights, he ends up being the one that kind of keeps Boruto and Sarada on track. A perfect example is how when they're fighting against Mirai on that bridge, and they kept kind of, you know, taking turns, and they had the little pissing contest, you know, Mitsuki got their ass back into gear. So I like this possibility of now that Deepa's just going at it, you could see Mitsuki actually use his brain and say, hey, we can't fight this guy. We need to get the fuck out of here. So I thought that that was cool. I also like how Deepa, when he's in that restaurant, you know, the guy's just sitting there eating, looks like some steak, man. But this dude sits there, he finishes up his steak, walks up to the counter and pays the person at the counter. I'm like, well, damn, this is a polite villain. You know, that dude Jigen, you know, those of you guys read the manga know where I'm going with this, but that dude Jigen is very polite. I guess he kind of put some manners in all the car members except for Delta. It ends up not being the case because this guy slaughtered everybody in the damn inn. I guess they're making too much noise. The guy wanted to eat in peace and ended up killing everybody. So again, I like that you see little small quirks out of Deepa because his character profile said that he's a very misunderstood character. So that's gonna be fun to actually see what Deepa can do in battle next week because he's actually got a pretty decent opponent to be going up against. So my episode question to you guys is gonna be, you know, what are your thoughts about the extremes that Mujino was willing to go through in order to get Boruto sent off of him, and the fact that Mujino was trying to teach Boruto throughout the mission? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that this further proves what Sasuke said, that Boruto needs real mission experience? And do you think that they made the right choice of not directly engaging in battle with all these ninja going after them, roughly over 1,000 ninja if you use headcanon to guess? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.